Hey there, it's Elizabeth. Welcome back to another video. This video is a video response to the many of you who have asked how I use food coloring to dye my papers these bright, beautiful colors. So I'm going to attempt, hopefully successfully, to show you how I do it. I don't have a setup in my kitchen, so we can't, walk through like exactly every little step, but I'm hoping that I can explain it well enough. First things first, materials, okay? You are going to need some type of paper, okay? For this demonstration today, I'm gonna use regular old copy paper. Oh, there's another one, rubber gloves. Since you're working with food coloring, it stains. It takes a really long time to get out. And please cover your surfaces. If you're doing it in the kitchen, cover your countertops because it will stain your countertops. We have quartz countertops and it stains it for a second until I get to it really quick and clean it off. So just beware. All right, you're gonna need a spatula. You're gonna need a pan with a side, like a baking pan with a side. If you can see down here, you're gonna need a cooling rack. And right up here in the corner, you're gonna need some 13 by 9 inch casserole dishes, okay? Now the food coloring I just use these little things here. These are neon colors. These are regular, primary colors. And they are these little dewdrop things, okay? Now, my pages, a lot of you have asked, how do I get them like that? Like so vibrant and the veining and all that pretty goodness, right? I'm gonna show you how I do that. So let's just look through some of these. There's blue. Now, some of them don't always come out like that. Like this is from the same batch, believe it or not, as this one. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist. Yeah. So some come out very light. This is green. And some come out very vibrant. Okay. Here's a pink one that I put some orange in as well. Nice little marbling and stuff. Okay. All the colors of the rainbow. I like rainbow. Here's like a lighter blue one. Here is a yellow one. See, you can hardly see it, but it is there. All right, more green, more of this one. I love this one. I wish I knew what I did. Here's the other thing too. They all come out differently. You will never in your lifetime be able to replicate a page that you made once before, okay? Every single one is unique and different. Okay, now, these right here, okay, holy cow, I just finished baking these, all right. I just wanted to show you that this is exactly what they look like after I got them out of the oven. I also did a little bit of experimentation and found out that I put my convection oven on at 250. That means the fan is twirling in there. You have to keep an eye on your papers. Like literally, I stand at the stove and I'm like an impatient kid waiting for a piece of candy. Like I'm opening the door like every 2 minutes, to make sure that the papers aren't burning up in my oven. So this is exactly how they came out. Now, when I go through the process with you, you're gonna see how all of these veins get there. That is so beautiful, okay? And look up here, because of the fold, it hardly put any color, right? Okay, so this is exactly how they came out, right? This was the very top piece that came out. The most colorful, the most marbled. Again, sorry you're spread. Not a scientist, don't know why. It is what it is. Now, I always take it, oh, look at that, there's the back. I always take it a step further and I iron my papers, okay? You don't have to iron them. It's really unnecessary. If you like them crinkled and wrinkled, fine. I like mine flat because I actually do write on them. Yeah, so, and I just take a cool-ish iron and I iron them, until they're flat, okay? So here, now see how this one was sitting like this, right, on the sheet, and look what happened, right? So this part here is a lot lighter than this part over here. All right, and there's the back part, all right? Still, as we go down, they get lighter and lighter, okay? Again, no scientist, have no idea why. All right. Oh, this one's still a little bit damp. Okay, so there's that. Now you can see here some of the lines are coming through. That's from the rack that I used. Okay. A lot of people use different, oh, and this is the bottom one. Look how colorful that one is, right? So the bottom paper is more colorful and the topmost paper is more colorful. Interesting. Okay. This is also the same process as coffee dyeing and tea staining and all of that. Same exact thing, only we're using food coloring. Some people use Kool-Aid. A hint for those of you who have not used Kool-Aid, it does not contain sugar, okay? It's the little packets, I don't have any, but it's a little packet of colored powder, okay? The Kool-Aid is made with your own sugar, okay? So there's no sugar involved, so don't worry about that. You can use Kool-Aid just the same. I find, however, that when I used Kool-Aid in the past, it leaves a film on the paper that I don't like. So the food coloring ones do not leave a film, okay? They're just perfectly flat, beautifully dyed papers. All right, let's get started, okay? So, because I wanted to show you the end result of what I'm about to do, okay? So this is my cooling rack set inside a baking sheet with sides that I will put in my oven again. 250 degrees, either convection. If you put it on convection, it's gonna dry faster. You're gonna need to keep your eye on it. If you are using the regular oven, same 250, but keep a very close eye on it. Do not leave the kitchen for any amount of time. Now, speaking of time, the time it takes, it all depends on your oven. Honestly, I cannot quantify a time that it's going to take you. I can tell you that I open and close my oven 50 million times. As soon as the top one is dried, I take it off and then let the other ones dry. And then I just keep doing that until all the pages have dried. All right, so we're gonna, whoops, sorry about that. We're gonna get rid of this for a second. All right, these have been soaking. Sorry for the glare, cannot help it. What I used in here were these two. This is like a greenish and this is a blue, and these are from the neon set, okay? Yeah, you can get, I don't know if you can get McCormick, but you can get those like at the Dollar Tree or whatever, so it's very inexpensive thing to do. Okay, so I use these two colors in here. These have been soaking, all right? Now I will show you in here. In this pan, again, 13 by 9 inch pan, you just use a pan that is big enough to hold your paper. So when I do, which ones? Sorry again. When I do my composition notebook papers, I use actually the baking sheet with sides, okay? And I fill it up with, you know, I put water in it enough to soak a few pages at a time, maybe like 10 pages at a time, because these are really huge and they don't fit in a 13 by 9. But the copy paper does. So let me show you in this one what I do, because I know you all want precise things, right? So I'm going to show you what I do. In this one, I'm going to use just blue and green because I love the colors and they're fun. This is the blue. I'm going to do about 12 bloop. Look how pretty that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not swirling it. I'm not mixing it. I'm leaving it just like that. You can swirl it and mix it if you're using just one color, whatever you want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 of those. Oops, I need to get my gloves on. All right. Okay, so, oops, just poked a hole in that one. All right, gloves on, because it will get gross. I mean, it'll stain. Okay, look at that pretty marbling, right? I don't know if this does anything to the paper or not specifically. I don't know when the veining comes in actually, whether it like has something to do with the dunking process or if it has something to do with the drying process. Again, not a scientist. All right, so we're laying that in there. If you can see, you can kind of see how the swirls, the different colors, I see greens here and blues here, greens here, right? Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you're gonna need a spatula. You're gonna need a spatula. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna tap it, okay, to submerge the paper. That's it. Tap, tap, tap. Get all the paper in there, in the water, you know, as best you can. It's no big deal. All right, we're gonna get another sheet. I hope this is one sheet. Stick that in there. You can put them askew, you can put them right on top, whatever. I mean, if you put them, if you kind of layer them up and down, it will be slightly easier when you go to take them out because, you know, they're saturated and the paper is super duper thin, okay? So there's that one, there's two, I'm gonna put a third one in. Okay, you just squish it down. What a pretty color, huh? This is literally like the ocean color where we used to go. And we will again one day. Okay, I don't know how many that is now. You guys might have been counting or maybe not. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna get those in there. Now, sometimes what I do, once I get it fully submerged, this color looks a lot like that color, doesn't it? That's okay, you can never have too much turquoise paper, right? Okay. Sometimes I go in here, look how that is so cool. Look at that. Ah. Oh, it's so fun. Okay, so sometimes I do that. Put a new sheet on top. Let it soak up just for a second or two, right? Let it soak into the paper. Okay. And then we're gonna just pat it down. Pat it all down. Pat, pat, pat. This is so much fun to do. It is time consuming, I'm not gonna lie, okay? The next question you might be asking is how long do I let them soak? Well, because this is pretty much an all-day process for me when I do it, because I do them in large batches, it's however long it takes the papers to dry, probably 20-30 minutes. I let them soak. This one's been soaking for at least 30 minutes now, okay? So there we have that, right? So they're all submerged and they're all just nice and cozy, all right? So let me just move this out of the way without spilling it in my craft room. Okay, we're gonna let that soak over there. All right, let's get into this. All right, so I'm gonna turn this way, all right? And I'm going to have, hopefully it's all gonna be in frame. I'm gonna have my, yep, sort of, okay. I'm gonna have my pan. Let me just switch this around. Just, okay, you don't need to see like the whole, you know, thing. This part is more important, I think. Okay, so when you're taking your papers out, all right, I usually just run my fingers along the side of the dish, all right, and kind of pull them up, because remember, these are so saturated, okay? They're so delicate. So you take them, my hands are shaky today, as usual. All right, you take them and you just kind of peel it away, all right? And then you lift it up ever so carefully. All right, I do not drain them. This is what I do, okay? Let's move that out of the way, all right? I flop it on there, however it goes, okay? So let's get another one. And let's see, okay, we're gonna peel it apart very carefully. Okay, peel it apart, flip it over. Okay, see what just happened? See those wrinkles? That's all good. Don't worry about it, because I do believe, again, not a scientist, and I don't play one on TV, but I do believe that that is why you get the veining. Flap it on there, okay? Slap it, flap it, whatever. Okay, it doesn't have to be neat and perfect. There are gonna be peaks and valleys. Well, gee whiz, kind of like life, you know? You go through peaks and valleys. Okay, so we're gonna carefully, not even draining, peaks and valleys. And you know what comes out of peaks and valleys? Beautifulness. That's what comes out of peaks and valleys. All right, flop, okay? I'm just flopping, guys, just flopping, all right? Carefully flopping, mind you, because you don't want to rip your paper. Not draining, nothing, okay? Flopping. Now, see on here, you can see some of the green. That'll come out like super duper cool. And on the next ramble session, hopefully, which I might not even be doing this week, but anyway, I'll show you these finished papers. Okay, so you take these just as they are. Let me get my gloves off. You take those just as they are. You stick them in a 250-degree oven. You must. I am not responsible for y'all, you know, y'all's experience, okay? You must keep an eye on your oven, okay? That's all I can say. You have to stay in the kitchen. You cannot leave the kitchen, all right? You must stay there. Okay, now once they're all piled up like this, all right, on your, this is a cookie sheet with sides with a cooling rack inside of it, okay? Now I'll bring these back and show you because I haven't ironed these. Whoops, they're not in the correct order. Okay, here we go. That's how they come out once they're completely dry. All of this veining and stuff like that is due to all these peaks and valleys, right? So like I said, just like our life, we've got peaks and valleys. Look how beautiful it turns out in the end, right? Am I right? Am I right? Hands up if I'm right. Okay. Now again, I'm gonna put this in a 250-degree oven, probably convection, just so the fan's going and it cools it faster. And that's how it's done, folks. That is how it's done. That's it, all right? Again, I use these little teardrop, whatever they're called, food coloring things, okay? You can mix your colors. Well, don't mix all of them because then you'll just get like gray or blah, pukey color. So you don't want that. But yeah, and I use them straight from here, right? You fill up your 13 by 9 inch pan, you know, about a ½ inch. That's all you need, okay? Still sorry about this glare. So you drop in, I put in 24 actually, if I'm mixing colors. Yeah, I put in 24 drops of food coloring, all right? Then I let them soak while the other ones are in the oven drying, okay? Well, after I take them out carefully, I flop them onto the drying rack, okay? No rhyme or reason, I flop them on there. That's what gives you the pretty peaks and valleys and veining and all of that other stuff, okay? Then I stick it in the oven, 250, keep a close eye on it, never leave the kitchen. And as soon as I see them start drying, I start taking off layer by layer by layer until they're all dry and everything's fine and dandy. And then the final thing that I do is I take them over to look at that. Woo, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, yeah, so what I do when I'm all done is I take them to my ironing board, and let me just tell you, I don't even iron clothes, okay? But I'll iron my papers. So I just put it flat, a dry piece of paper. This has been dried in the oven. I put it on my ironing board. I've never had a problem. I use my regular iron. And I just iron them flat on a coolish setting, you know, or you can, you know, you can raise the setting, you know, to a little bit warmer, just, you know, don't burn your paper. Okay. All right. Again, I'm not responsible for y'all's experience. So there you have it. Okay. I've showed you my process as best as I could. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you try it out for yourself. Don't leave your kitchen. Do not leave your kitchen when you're doing this, okay, if you dry them in the oven. If you're not going to dry them in the oven, you need to have protective surfaces because this is food coloring. It will dye anything it touches permanently, okay? So, I think I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I explained everything properly, and I hope you try it for yourself. So, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye!